Pour yourself a drink, crack open a beer, make yourself a hot dog. I don't care, but it's do what you want. Just watch the show. It's unhinged. All right. Welcome to the show. It is Friday once again, 3:30 in the afternoon, Best Coast time, 6:30 on the East Coast. And we are here to talk to you about football and stuff. If you look in the description, it has our sections, our chapters, our topics. We're going to start with the recap of Thursday Night Football. Kickers missed so many kicks last week. Did you notice that? It was like
some really clutch moments too.
Yeah, there were so many missed kicks. We're going to talk about idiots on the internet, some of the dumbest things you can find on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, etc. Hopefully you have a few. There's a new segment, and it has an intro video that's pretty fucking raw, and it's called "Football is Stupid." That's the segment name, but the video wouldn't download. So we will save that for another week. In Football is Stupid, we are going to be talking about bad fantasy beats, stupid player performances like what the fuck happened to Jamar Chase and A.J. Brown and Mark Andrews and on and on. Bad teams winning, 49ers injuries. We'll talk about that. And then, as always, we'll do our top 5 at the end of the show. So how are you doing, Colt?
I'm great, man. I've had a busy week, and I was feeling like a kid at Christmas with week 1 of the NFL taking place. We've all been waiting so long for this, and I was glued to Sunday Ticket on Sunday. That's all I did. I was like an addict. Screen to screen to screen, game, just checking all my leagues.
Yeah, I was driving back from Oregon. I had a 9-hour drive during all football time. So my Christmas, if you've ever spent Christmas morning opening your presents in the car, that's what I did.
Okay.
until the night game, and then I watched that at work.
What a game that was! Holy shit!
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Raiders undefeated, and then tied for first place in the AFC West, and that was I want to say that was a fun game to watch, but it wasn't. It was absolutely horrible because we were down 10-7 at half, and I turned it off and then just used red zone to kind of catch back up. And then we won, and it was great. But it was.
Gino looked good. He looked good.
Yeah. As often happens when I watch the Raiders, I start to get really pissed off, and I turn it. And I don't watch the game anymore.
Okay.
And then when I calm down after the late game, I'll watch the Raiders game again. So that's like 8:00 at night. So that's kind of what happened. And there are so many times when the Raiders are in the early slate where I hate all the games in the later slate.
Yeah.
Like I just don't care about them. And this was one of those weeks. It was like Rams, Houston. That was like Niners, Seahawks. I didn't care.
Broncos, Titans. That was kind of a slog.
So I watched it through Red Zone, and that was it was quite a weekend. What really got me was the Oregon Ducks.
Ah.
By your reaction, you didn't watch the game.
I did not. No.
So they hung 70 points on Oklahoma State, which is a Power 5 school. This was in the same weekend that FCS schools were going to Division I schools. FCS were playing FBS schools and having 70 points scored on them. And Oregon fucking did that to a Power 5 school. Oklahoma State is garbage, but what's more important is how good Oregon is. So if you want an early season favorite for who's going to win the national championship, the one thing that I thought of while I was watching this Oregon team, it reminded me of the 1994 San Francisco 49ers. Now, a lot of you are too young to have watched the 94 Niners, but they were basically like football perfection. It was execution at the highest level I've ever seen in my entire life.
I remember that era.
Whatever they wanted to do, they did. They're in the Super Bowl, and the coach and Steve Young are talking about how many touchdowns you want to throw today. And he's like, I don't know, how about 6? And he threw 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He and Jerry Rice would do this thing where they were like, do you want to like put a drive together, or should we just score now? You're like,
Wow.
Let's just score now.
I didn't realize that.
Every time Oregon touched the ball, it was like every drive, it was like 3 plays and a touchdown. So there would be like a couple churns of the running back, and then all of a sudden a running back would break away or a wide receiver would get open and take it to the house, and it was just over and over again. And it wasn't like it wasn't like a couple players. It was like 3 or 4 deep at the running back position and like 3 or 4 deep at the wide receiver position, including DeCorian Moore, who was the top wide receiver recruit, the number 1 recruit in 2025.
Okay.
Kid absolutely flashed, and true freshman, second game in college, and he's an absolute monster. Like, and he just like he torched the Cowboys all over the place. It was a crazy game to watch, and the craziest part was like I was an hour north of it while it was going on, staying at a resort for a wedding, and just staying in the hotel room watching college football, and that game was absolutely incredible. They looked flawless.
Highlights.
Yeah, their defense shut Oklahoma State down completely. And again, Oklahoma State is an FBS school in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've been competitive.
Yeah.
Gundy is a terrible human being, but like it's still like a big program, and they allowed 70 points to Oregon.
Oh.
Oregon is going to have it's going to be tough stopping Oregon this year. Similarly, the Green Bay defense. And we talked about it when the Mike Parsons trade was made, about how the Cowboys' EPA per play for roughly 1,400 snaps in those 4 years, the Cowboys' defense was the best. I can't remember if it was the defense was the best with him on the field and the second worst with him off the field, or if it was second best with him on the field and worst with him off the field. And that's essentially what they gave to the Packers. And it showed last night against the Washington Commanders. They held Jaden Daniels to the worst, his worst start of his career that he finished. There was one game last year he came out. So does that mean, like, are the Green Bay Packers for real defensively, where the Commanders just kind of befuddled and Cliff Kingsbury isn't it? Is this a sophomore slump for Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, it's the same questions I had written down, just what you said. Like,
okay.
How good is Green Bay's defense versus how unorganized might the Commanders be? And it's only week 2. Terry McLaurin missed all of camp. He's not his usual self yet.
Right.
I kind of think Green Bay's defense is for real.
But a lot of us saw it coming and said, sit Terry McLaurin.
Yep, you're right.
On my fantasy forecast show, I would have included him in the sits if it was a Sunday game.
Okay.
But the show didn't get posted until this morning, so it's worthless to have Thursday people. So just based on the eye test, who do you think had a better game, Jordan Love or Jaden Daniels?
I think Jordan Love did. Just on the eye test. I mean, Daniels struggled to complete a bit of his passes, and in the first half, I mean, he had no yardage. I mean, at one point in the game, I think he was 9 for 12 with 40 yards.
And he's still there was one pass that he threw to Noah Brown.
Yeah.
That Brown just flat out dropped.
Yep.
It was a beautiful pass. It was put right on the money, and Brown just straight up dropped it. And that would have helped. It could have led to a touchdown scoring drive. It definitely would have helped.
Yeah.
But the reality is that in fantasy, in PPR scoring, Jordan Love only outscored him by like a point.
Right.
It was,
And Green Bay, they got up and they just kind of took the foot off the gas pedal a little bit.
yeah, and it was Jaden Daniels' worst game as a pro, and he still put up over 19.5 points, so roughly 20 points in fantasy, which is, if you're a quarterback 1 or 2 in Superflex, that's at your absolute bottom. Like, yeah, we want Jaden to score us 35 points.
Sure,
that's ideal. But anything over 20 is acceptable. 35 is like those games where you just like you go off. 20 to 25 is standard QB1, QB2, 3, 4, 5, and he hit that 20-point mark. So don't be worried about Jaden Daniels.
No. Who would have thought that Daniel Jones would have outscored Jaden Daniels? I mean,
what's that?
Daniel Jones could have outscored Jaden Daniels. I mean, week to week, it's
and
that was a matchup play too.
Daniel Jones played out of his head, and we've seen him do that. Like, we know that he can. We know he can do that. Do be worried about AJ Brown.
You worried?
Where did he go?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to keep up for very long. He's going to have a problem. He's going to vocalize it.
Yeah.
But now Goddard's been ruled out. So Shipley and Goddard were ruled out today.
Yeah.
So here comes the AJ Brown get right game, or Devontae Smith boom game.
Both.
Yeah.
Those things happen. Saquon will have his. Jalen Hurts will have his.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up real quick. Missed kicks. Week 1.
Which do you think was the worst? There's a couple that tie for me.
Well, I mean, personally, the worst was Daniel Carlson because that's my guy. But we won, so it's not that bad. Probably Younghoe Koo.
Yeah.
44-yard field goal that would have tied the game. Moody missed a 27-yard field goal in the first half and another kick that was blocked. Then he got cut.
Yeah.
Andre Schmidt.
Pinheiro.
Yeah, they signed
Eddie.
Pinheiro. It's garbage dumpster diving kickers is it's a mood. Andre Schmidt missed an extra point and a go-ahead 36-yard field goal. The Browns might have beaten the Bengals. Like, it was there was so many, it seemed like. Maybe it wasn't that many. Maybe it just happened in the games that I watched. There were 19 missed field goals in week 1 in 2021. Or something. So I guess it wasn't as bad. It was just like I just kept seeing it happen over and over again. And this like stupid ass Google AI overview, it doesn't have all of them. Because it doesn't have Dan Carlson, he missed one. It doesn't have the Patriots guy, he missed one, at least. So there had to have been more. Oh, here we go. Chase McLaughlin from the Buccaneers, he missed. Cairo Santos missed. Will Reichard missed. Joey Sly missed 2 last night.
Ouch! Yeah.
So yeah. So there's an epidemic. It makes me think of, like, if you follow baseball at all, there was an era where guys were flirting with like I remember George Brett hit 390 one year. And Tony Gwynn always was like in the high 300s, and Will Clark was in like the 330s, and there were always guys battling it out, hitting over 300. Now I think in the National League, at one point a few weeks ago, there was only one hitter hitting over 300.
Really?
But home runs are up. So it's kind of like, yeah, we're getting 70-yard field goals and 60-yard field goals, and these guys are thumping the fucking ball, but they're just missing left and right.
Layups.
So they're giving up accuracy for power, which is basically what people are doing in baseball.
Yeah. What do you think about if you had to choose rest of the season? Would you rather have Cameron Dicker or Loop from the Ravens?
Oh, Loop, because he's a Razorback, obviously.
Okay. Even if you had Lamar as your quarterback.
Sure. I don't know what difference that would make.
I was thinking it could cannibalize the end zone opportunities, if you have your quarterback and your kicker on the same team. You know what I mean?
Did you mean Lamar or Trevor Lawrence?
Lamar.
But Lamar is on the Ravens.
Yeah. Well, but Loop is the kicker. So if you had...
I thought you were talking about Cam Little from the Jaguars.
Mm.
Oh, well then Dicker the kicker because he has a better nickname.
Yeah. That's right.
That's
who I have.
I would need to get into fantasy points or fantasy data to figure out whether quarterbacks cannibalize their kickers, because a couple years ago Tyler Bass kicked so many extra points for Josh Allen that he would have been the Scott Fishbowl top scorer in with his numbers in that year. He would have been the Scott Fishbowl top scorer in the year that they did kickers, which I think was 2024.
Yeah.
So
speaking of Fishbowl, how did your week 1 go?
It didn't.
No,
but we'll get to that when we talk about football is stupid. For now, it's the hot take splits. All right, hot take blitz, aka idiots of the internet. I have some pretty damn good ones.
Can't wait to see what you got.
Thomas Rakanowski, 9286. LMAO, laughing emoji. Yeah, David Njoku is not going to be anywhere near top 10 PE when the Browns just invested a top 10 pick in Colston Loveland. Okay.
Oh man.
Spell the name right. Get the grammar correct.
Uh-huh.
He said you don't draft someone there without stealing snap share. Njoku gets traded. Oh, he got it right that time. Njoku gets traded by the deadline, trying to offload his contract and focus on Loveland. Okay. so many pieces.
A lot wrong with this picture here.
The Dunning-Kruger effect, where people who are wrong think that they're correct, and the more wrong they are, the more hardcore they are in their belief that they are correct. That definitely applies here. And then on top of that, there's so many layers to this onion. And then okay, he got Loveland and Fannin mixed up.
Yeah.
Whatever. Still, don't go so hard in the paint if you aren't carrying the ball. And then Njoku gets traded by the deadline. There's this attitude that people have that trades just happen all over the place in the NFL.
Yeah.
They're very rare.
Yeah.
They don't happen. It's the trade deadline in the NFL. Yeah, nobody goes anywhere.
Yeah.
Curdy, Colt and Biggs, let's get it. Hey, Curdy.
Hey, what's up, Curdy?
Come on as a guest if you want sometime. All right. Do you have one?
A hot takes blitz?
Yeah, idiot of the internet.
It's not so stark, but I was reading a tweet earlier talking about it was major shade being thrown on Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, aka Bill, saying that he's just a guy to the extent that he probably won't even get much meaningful work. And this is after Eckler went down last night with a non-contact Achilles.
Okay.
So I'm not of the ilk that I think Bill is elite or anything, but I think this tweet that I read earlier was a bit hyperbolic against the fact that that Bill could actually be, some sort of a workhorse, and that he is actually kind of good.
Yeah. So I'm not going to move the goalposts. The goalposts moved for me.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was on this show that I said, pump the brakes on Bill Krosky-Merritt.
Yeah, you did.
But then Austin Eckler got dead.
Yeah.
Krosky-Merritt obviously was the second option in the offense, and now he is obviously elevated to the first option. They did run Jeremy McNichols out, like he lined up wide a few times I saw, but it's BCM, like he's the dude. So obviously, like there was a huge run for picking him up off waivers, and everybody who did so, they benefited because now he's entrenched. But if he is out there, go grab him. I didn't. I had one league out of 39 on Sleeper that I actually drafted him in, just because I wanted to share.
Sure.
But I didn't go heavy on the waiver wire for him, because in the immediate last week, he was still like only going to get some run, which like he had what, 5 or 6 points this week. It's not like he had, an outlier of a game and everybody's like, see, receipts. Like,
yeah,
no, but depth chart moves happen throughout the season. And yeah, so everybody who got him benefited from that. There are some other things that will happen that I will benefit from. It's just not going to be that.
Yeah.
All right. This happened a couple weeks ago. Sources: the Cowboys and standout cornerback Deron Bland have agreed to terms on a big new contract extension. Blah blah blah. Guy I follow is FB_film analysis. His name is Ted Wynn, and he was the first guy I started following that really was providing me with in-depth film breakdowns.
Okay.
Like, I know there's a lot of people out there that do it. He was the first one that I really came across because he was doing it for a Raiders website, and he's very good. So then at Cowboy_ways, it's wild. So Ted quote tweets and says, "No way Jerry can talk about Parsons freelancing hurting the team," and then extends a cornerback who gets burned but gets pick sixes. And that's like the Deron Bland and Travion Diggs MO. Jerry likes that. He wants the splash plays. It doesn't matter if the cornerback gives up 3 touchdowns if he gets that one highlight.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
So it's a good point by Ted. And then Cowboys fan, Cowboy_ways. It's wild. Your name is FB analysis, and you still have this horrible take. And then he got ratioed. He's not wrong. A Cowboys fan saying that is a horrible take because it's something negative about a Cowboys player. Who would have thought? Like, just and then somebody comes back. You must not have seen much Bland film. Oh no. Somebody said that to Ted. You must not have seen much Bland film. Where are you getting this idea that he gets burned a lot? He gets burned all the
yeah.
time. He doesn't need. He's obviously seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's not hard to see it.
No.
All right. You got another one?
I'm scrolling. I don't have one immediately.
All right. This is a good take. Frank Amarante said, if Christian Gonzalez is out, the Raiders look like live dogs against the Patriots in week 1. That actually happened. So that's good.
I've got one here slightly talking about Ashton Genty being somewhat of a sit this week. I don't buy that. There's a little bit of panic regarding this tweet. It's only been 1 week, I mean, he only put up 12 fantasy points last week, but I mean, he's an absolute workhorse.
That was with getting in the end zone.
Yeah. So those 6 points and that touchdown really helped push that score up a little bit, but I'm not panicking on Genti at all.
So I'm not panicking, but number one, the Raiders had one of the bottom 3 yards before contact, which means that in the rushing game, they're kind of like defenses are getting into the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
So Genti doesn't have a lot of room to run. Now, I'm not panicking with that stat because A, the game script didn't call for like a heavy rushing attack. B, he was fine against loaded boxes in college. And, is the fucking forced missed tackles king.
Yeah.
Yards after contact king. So they can be in the backfield and he's going to like get touched and make a miss and whatever. So I'm not worried about it, but it does kind of give you pause, especially considering the Chargers have a pretty good run defense.
Yeah. And I guess where you had to take Genti, he's the end of the first round, maybe beginning of the second round pick in your draft. So that's a pretty hefty price tag. Would you be willing to start like a Javonte Williams?
Probably. I like Javonte. It depends on the matchup.
Some people might be facing that decision. Yeah.
It depends on the matchup. I want to say Javante's looks juicy and Genti's looks unjuicy. So
Javante's against the Giants.
If somebody were to say I started Javonte over Genti, I wouldn't be like, you dumbass.
Yeah.
I would definitely understand. Now, I don't make a whole lot of wholesale changes until after week 4. So wherever I have Genti, I'm still rolling with him. Whether that loses me the week or whatever, that could happen.
I agree.
All right. Let's talk about some bad beats. And good beats. Do you have a good beat from last week?
Good beat from last week?
Do you have a big win?
Just being right about Emeka Egbuka. A lot of people, there's a lot of information out there just talking about what a camp he had, his level of professionalism, the fact that he even called his own touchdown, that second one that inevitably won them the game. I'm all in on the Egbuka hype train.
Yeah, absolutely.
Predictions.
In one of my Campus to Canton leagues last year, I was kind of out of it, and there was a team that was like a contender, and so I offered James Conner and grabbed Emeka Egbuka and Tyler Warren.
Wow.
And
now you count some money.
They lost in the championship.
Yeah.
Even with James Conner. I had a bad beat. My best beat. So I was invited to play in a home league, and they needed a spot to fill. And so we're doing the draft, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're a fantasy analyst? Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass!" Blah blah blah, blah. Like just giving me tons of shit. So week 1, I put up the second most points in the league. I put up 143. The other guy had 144, and the chat melted down about the dude who invited me into the league. What the fuck were you doing inviting him?
Yeah.
After they talked so much shit. So that was good. That was a good week. Okay. What was your worst beat?
Worst beat.
I had 2 very bad ones.
Worst beat. It's not the worst beat, but I sat Pearsall in some areas where I shouldn't have. I had some tough decisions to make in flex plays, and I went with Travis Hunter over Pearsall.
Okay.
That wasn't great. I mean,
Great.
Hunter put up 9.3 to Pearsall's 14.8. Also, some trades. I really tried to get Harold Fannin before the season started, and I couldn't get anything done in a couple of leagues, and now the price tag is way up there, so I'm not buying at the ceiling.
It was cool meeting his family at the expo.
Right, I remember you saying that, and I was in that same area. I just didn't run into them.
So I left Travis Etienne on the bench and started Josh Jacobs and Ashton Genty. That same league, I started Calvin Ridley and not D-Hop or Khalil Shakir.
That's tough to start D-Hop, though.
I had him as like a good big play.
Okay.
In this league, no, in another league, I was asked on a show in that league scoring format who was like a late round guy to not leave with or not leave without, and I said D-Hop, and he showed out, had the touchdown. I also started the Bills defense against Baltimore, which I shouldn't have done.
I drafted the Bills and I dropped them for the Niners.
Oh, of course. This is a dynasty league, so.
You got a defense in dynasty.
Yeah, Niners weren't available, and then everything else, I like all the other decisions I made were great, but I still had D-Hop and Khalil Shakir outscoring Calvin Ridley, and then the not starting Travis Etienne. I lost by 0.8 points.
Ooh, ouch.
That's my home league.
I would say a bad beat overall for me is I think I only won 7 out of 19 leagues.
It happens.
Yeah.
The worst beat. Let me get back. This one's fucking crazy. This is like all-time worst beat of my life. So let's see. I started Travion Henderson over J.K. Dobbins.
I would have done the same.
I also started him over Javonte Williams.
I would have done the same.
So my running backs I went with were Kamara and Henderson. And then again, Ridley. Ridley got outscored by Stephon Diggs and Isaac Tesla, who were on my bench.
Wow. But Tesla didn't score until the game was garbage time. He didn't really contribute much. So
yeah, but that catch was insane.
It was. It was beautiful.
And then I started my only tight end, Mark Andrews.
He was invisible.
That mistake was made in the draft.
Yeah.
I scored 135.20. My opponent scored 135.25.
Fuck. Damn.
No, like scoring adjustment during the week. No stat correction.
Yeah.
And the other worst part about it is that it's a median league. The median was 135.43. So I even missed the median by 0.23.
Oh man.
So I'm 0-2 to start that league, which sucks so hard.
I think I play you this week in Omega.
Oh, Omega is
yeah, it's you and Greinberg.
Yeah, there's no hope for us in Omega. We're gonna have the number 1 pick again this year. Just terrible. I have a good track record going against Jacks and Chalk in general, but in that Omega league, it's bad. It's really bad. Are you in the club championship?
No.
Okay. That's another one. I think it's 14 or 16 teams.
Okay.
It was deep. Yeah, 16. And
I will say, go ahead.
Going into the season, I thought that I had a pretty good team. And then I'm like looking at Austin Eckler starting, Matthew Golden starting, Kenneth Walker starting. Like, what happened?
Dude, the Walker one hurts the most for me because I was all in on Walker, even with missing all the camp and practices and stuff like that. But the Kubiak system, I thought Walker was going to smash this year.
Absolutely, and he still could. It's week one.
It's just week one, but I was very panicked. I pretty much sent trade offers to every single person in my longest running redraft to buy a running back, and no one wanted to do business with me because I notoriously win the league, and they view it as helping me. So even though if I'm willing to pay top prices, hey, I'm talking about trading Emeka Buka, Malik Neighbors. Nobody cares. They don't want to help me. Give me a running back.
Yeah, in my home league, there's a guy who has won the last two, and it's like every time somebody makes a trade with him, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's Jahmyr Gibbs, it's like Joe Burrow. It's he has Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson already.
Yeah.
It's and the rest of us are like, why do you keep helping him?
Stop.
All right. Curdy, JJ McCarthy, back-to-back primetime games to start his career. See if he can pull it off again. I don't think he'll need to pull it off. I think he's in a balanced position, and he got the jitters out.
Yeah.
You ever watch a Major League Baseball game and you see a starting pitcher and it's his first time ever? He's just like, it's just nerves, and he's throwing too hard, and he's up in the zone, and that was JJ McCarthy. But the kid is nails. He won a national championship, for Christ's sake. Like, he's got composure. He's got poise. He knows how to win. Yeah, and that totally showed. What also showed in that game was that Caleb Williams does not have that intangible thing that JJ McCarthy has.
I don't think so.
He doesn't have the arm talent that JJ McCarthy has, but he is a better runner when he decides to pull it down and do spin moves and shit like that. So if you want to say that that's better for fantasy, you're still going to be wrong. JJ McCarthy will have the better career in the NFL than Caleb Williams, but Caleb Williams is a much more talented ballerina than JJ McCarthy is.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the top 5 and get out of here. Randomizer.
Do you think Caleb is cooked?
No. He'll be better.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's going to be a terrible quarterback, but JJ McCarthy is going to be better.
Yeah.
All right, let's share screen. I know you guys want to hear the verbalization of production because that makes for quality entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
So the Wheel of Names. Oh, somebody posted a list of their saying Christopher Nolan's never made a bad film.
Okay.
Like, yeah, he has. And then somebody was like, yeah, well, you never heard somebody say, hey, we should watch Dunkirk again. And I'm like,
that's one of your favorites, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I said, no, but I say I should watch it again. I watch it all the time. I love that movie. All right. Burgers, movie villains, movies, cars, fast food restaurants, actresses, sports, not in the major 4, TV shows, and video games. If you have a suggestion, put it in the chat. This week we're doing movies. All right.
Movies.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, it is.
Let's change it up. Let's do directors. I'm calling an audible.
Directors.
Do you know directors?
Okay. I know enough. Yeah.
Okay. So your number 5 director.
Francis Ford Coppola.
That's a good one.
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now is fantastic. Godfather's great. I'm going to go with David Fincher.
Nice, very nice.
Even some of his more underrated stuff, like the Panic Room is good with Jodie Foster, and then Zodiac is great, and Seven is great, and the one with Michael Douglas and Sean Penn, that one's hella good.
Yeah,
there's a ton. David Fincher has a lot of movies. All right, you're number 4.
I'm gonna say deep cut. David Lynch. I like some of his stuff.
That's a wonderful, wonderful pick. I really like David Lynch, and he's one of the only people that I've ever been able to do a good impression of.
He's got some great stuff, man. Mulholland Drive is cool. Just kind of dreamy.
My aunt took me to Wild at Heart when I was a young teenager, maybe 12 or 13, whatever year it came out. I was very young, and obviously she didn't know she was taking me to a David Lynch movie, but it was like that movie had a big effect on me, and it caused me to dive on David Lynch and figure out who he was and what he was about.
Cool dude.
Some super bizarre filmmaking, and he was a rad dude. Rest in the stars, buddy. All right, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna go Akiva Schaffer. That's wrong because I like David Fincher better, but I want to give a shout out to Akiva Schaffer.
Okay.
Part of the Lonely Island, did The Naked Gun, Redux, Pop Star, Hot Rod. Hot Rod's one of my favorite movies. So I'll say him.
Okay.
Just so he gets some shine.
Next, I'm gonna go Tim Burton.
Ah, damn it.
Love
so I'm heavily into film and started production on an independent of my own.
Really?
Yeah, right around COVID. COVID shut it down. I even had I had production started, fully went into casting. I had film in the can, and then my lead actress quit because she got pregnant and had to quit acting. So everything got shut down. I just really haven't revisited it because I learned some lessons, and it's hard to self-produce. I just need $10,000 and I can do it because I have to pay. You have to pay the actors to all be in one place at the same time, and then you can knock it out. I was trying to schedule people to come up from LA to and I needed a producer to figure out how to schedule everybody together at the same time so we could figure it out. And that was difficult. And then the other thing happened and it all fell apart. But I have a couple of screenplays written and stuff. All that to say, Tim Burton is the reason that I love film so much. The fact that you can go away from convention and be stylistic like that, was like a wake-up call for me, because there weren't a whole lot of people who were doing that in the mainstream. Like David Cronenberg was doing that, and there were John Carpenter. There were some people on the fringes, but nobody was doing it mainstream, and he was the first one. All right, my number 3 is going to be Jean-Pierre Jeunet. So
I don't know that one.
He directed Alien Resurrection, the least favorite Alien movie of everybody who was the Alien franchise. But he was a French filmmaker, and the first movie he made was called Delicatessen. And I saw that in a little theater, same theater I saw Reservoir Dogs in 1992.
Okay.
And it's just again, it's super stylistic. It's kind of post-apocalyptic. People live underground. Meat is scarce, so there's a butcher, and he has a constantly available room. So there's an apartment complex in the butcher building. So the butcher shop's on the ground floor, and he has a vacant apartment. somebody will move in and then he'll butcher them and feed them to, like, that's the meat that he sells in his delicatessen.
Wow.
And then suddenly he has another opening, and this former circus clown moves in and falls in love with the guy's daughter. It's really good. Delicatessen, super good. And then he came out with a movie called The City of Lost Children, which has Ron Perlman in it, but he only speaks French. It's super dark and kind of sci-fi-ish. He made Amelie. He made A Very Long Engagement, which is very good. Alien Resurrection. Just everything he's ever done, I absolutely love.
Right on.
All right, you're number 2.
Number 2, Christopher Nolan. I love his stuff. From Interstellar to Dunkirk, the Dark Knight trilogy. I specifically love the Dark Knight trilogy. It seems like in the Dark Knight, everything continually gets worse in the movie, the way the plot continues to unfold. And it paints this picture of just how the hell can this come back?
Right.
How can this work?
I did like the second one.
Yeah.
Batman Begins bores me to death.
Yeah. I don't like the Begins as much either. The second one is the best.
And the Dark Knight Rises, there's too many. Dark Knight Rises is the third one, right?
Yeah.
That one, okay, so Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. That one, there's a huge plot hole. I hated Bane. The sound was off in the theater. I couldn't hear anything Bane was saying. It was just,
Really?
It was bad. But Dark Knight is fantastic. Obviously, Heath Ledger, genius, legend. All right, my number 2 is going to be Paul Thomas Anderson.
Okay.
If he had only made Boogie Nights, he'd still be my number 2. But
Licorice Pizza.
What's that?
I didn't know that's who made Boogie Nights.
Yeah, and Licorice Pizza is a great newish one that he made. Like everything Magnolia, he's made a ton. I love watching everything he does. All right, I feel like we're gonna have the same number 1.
Perhaps. I'm gonna go.
To be fair, he is the greatest filmmaker that ever lived.
Yeah, we might have the same one. It's a really hard call for me. I'm gonna say Tarantino.
Yeah, easy.
Is that who you had to?
Easy.
Sick. Yeah, I mean, he's just unbelievable, dude. Like
we could do a podcast just on Tarantino films.
Yeah.
So I had just moved to Seattle. I was on my own, and one of the things that I do when I'm bored and by myself is I go to movies by myself.
Okay.
And I went and saw Reservoir Dogs. And I was like, this is great. I loved it. So wind up moving back to California, and then I start seeing from the director of Reservoir Dogs, and then the Pulp Fiction music and the previews and all that stuff. And I was like, I have to see that. So I took my girlfriend at the time and we went and saw it. And there were things that he did in Pulp Fiction that blew my mind. I was like, you can do that in movies? Yeah. Again, similar to the Tim Burton vibe. When Uma Thurman goes, "Don't be a square," and then there's like dotted lines on the, I was like, oh my God, you can do that? And then when Butch is in the taxi cab and the green screen scenery behind him is all black and white from a black and white film, I was like, oh my God, you can do that? This guy's amazing. And then followed his career. And there's 2 things. Number 1, The Hateful Eight. The way he shot it, I sat down with a notebook and I drew out the blocking of every shot in that movie when they're in the cabin. Normally you have like a close-up or a single shot or a 2-shot.
Right.
And it'll be 2 people talking to each other. And there's things that you can do with camera angles that create narrative. He gets 8 people on the screen at the same time. And to do that, they had to be very specifically like located in the shot. He also needed to use a very particular widescreen film. And it's just genius. It's genius.
Yeah.
So I had scenes in my film that were set in a group home in a group counseling session. And so I had the shots drawn out where the people were situated just like in the Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Some of the camera angles I was talking about, if you want to imply the power dynamic, if you have somebody who's standing up and somebody who's sitting down, the person who's looking down at the other person is in the power position. And he does this with the Bruce Dern and Samuel Jackson part. So Bruce Dern is in the chair and Samuel Jackson is basically lording over him. So every shot of Samuel Jackson is from down below, and he just looks like he's completely swallowing the screen. And every shot of Bruce Dern, you're looking down at him, and he just looks tiny, right?
Okay.
And it, like, part of the narrative is the power dynamic there. It's fantastic filmmaking. And then the other one is Inglourious Bastards, where all it is it's like a bunch of scenes where he slowly builds the tension and then releases it. And then he does it again the next scene. And so for the entire movie, you're on this roller coaster where he's just keeping you tense until he lets you go. And it's a filmmaker mastering his audience. Like
100%.
I'm going to make you feel this way until I feel like you don't need to anymore. And it's just like, it's brilliant.
That's what I was thinking about was Inglourious Bastards when I said Tarantino, despite all of his other previous just masterpieces.
Yeah.
Inglourious Bastards was on the top of my head.
Yeah, I love it. It just came back to Netflix.
I saw that.
And I almost started watching it again.
Me too. I will.
That opening scene I have watched so many times. It's so
good. Yeah. Something else to think about. Isn't Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez, aren't they kind of intertwined? Because
they're good friends.
Do you remember True Romance? I believe that was Rodriguez, but it has the Tarantino feel.
So Tarantino had written Natural Born Killers and True Romance, and Oliver Stone got Natural Born Killers. He was pitching to Ridley Scott, and I want to say it was Ridley Scott that did True Romance, but they wanted Reservoir Dogs, and he was like, no, Reservoir Dogs is mine. I'm the one that's going to make it.
Okay.
Which is why it came out after. He wrote it before the other two, but it came out after because he was the one that directed it, and it took him a long time to do it. But Ridley Scott did True Romance. Tarantino wrote it. The Robert Rodriguez connection in the movie Four Rooms, Robert Rodriguez does the scene with Antonio Banderas.
Okay.
And then Quentin Tarantino does the one with the witches. And then they did the Grindhouse together.
That's right. Okay.
So that was like, they were just kind of sitting around talking about, we should make a Grindhouse movie like in the 70s. And they were like, yeah, we should make it a double feature. And then they did it.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. I'm a nerd.
Your movie cuts run deep. That's for sure.
I am a nerd. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We will be back next week at 3:30, 6:30. We will have more stuff for you. And perhaps there will be more co-hosts, and we will get crazy, folks.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to do the football is stupid. So every week we will have bad beats. We will have players that just fucking shit the bed, like Tony Pollard, Calvin Jamar Chase, Mark Andrews. Like, what the hell? Come on.
Yeah.
Football is stupid. Jake Moody. The 49ers losing everybody to injury. You know how many underdog best ball stacks I had with Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Jawan Jennings, and fucking George Kittle?
I feel your pain.
Easiest schedule in the NFL. And I was like, smashing best ball? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Now all of those teams are dead in the water. On top of my fast draft shares, where there was a contest on fast draft to see if you could do stacks of six or seven players on the same team.
Uh-huh.
And I did a few teams of those, and they were all Niners Raiders stacks.
Yeah.
Dead in the water.
Football's stupid, man.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Follow Colt on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. All that stuff. Thank you for watching the Undroppables. We will see you next week. All right. I'm going to take a shot.